I'll call roll call.
Okay.
Commissioner Blair?
Here.
Commissioner Bellows?
Here.
Commissioner Beener?
Here.
Commissioner Paulson? So, Commissioner Paulson? Commissioner Nikolai?
Here.
Commissioner Gauthier?
Here.
All right, so welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming, spending time out of your day to come to this workshop. Members of the public, we welcome you. I'd like to just kind of start with some introductions. We have some new faces on the commission, and I think we can all get a better idea of our backgrounds and what we're bringing to the table as we're getting through this. So maybe just state your name and just a little bit about yourself, your education, or your profession, or what have you. I'll start. So my name's Max Carter. I'm the city planner here at King City. I've been on staff since October, and yeah, it's been a real fun ride so far, and we're getting this thing going, and I'm looking forward to seeing it through. Go ahead. Keith.
Keith Wyden, contract planner, who's sliding towards retirement, but still involved in this. I'll be helping with this.
I'm Lizzie Gauthier. I work at a title company, and I'm studying CAD. Cool. I'm Carol Bellows. My background is in landscape architecture and urban design. I've lived in the area for, going on 29 years, and I've always been involved in community and how it's put together.
Dayton Blair, was a land surveyor for years and years, retired now.
Urgence Bugiengo. I'm with council and you are a city engineer consultant for the city. I've assisted the city for the last maybe 15 years. I like it.
I'm Gretchen Beener. I'm a native Oregonian, fifth generation, and I've 42 years as a real estate and land use lawyer, did some estate planning. I have been involved in subcommittee of the Planning Commission in Portland. I served 7 years on the Planning Commission in Tigard. I then served 8 years on their city council. I moved to King City. I served on the Planning Commission when I moved here, and then was elected to the council and served for 4 years. And now I'm back on the Planning Commission. And I have formally retired as an attorney, but I'm still doing consulting and mediation arbitration.
Well, thanks again, everyone, for participating. So I just want to restate the purpose of this workshop. This is meant to be strictly informational. Questions, inquiries, concerns, those will be withheld until we have a public hearing. So this meeting is not going to involve public comments, nor will it involve too much inquiry from the commissioners. This is strictly just an informational workshop to get a good idea of what the application contains and what it is that your jobs will be as commissioners as we begin reviewing this.
Is it okay to introduce myself? I didn't get a chance to do that. Is it okay?
Yes, I'm sorry, were you speaking to us?
Yeah. Is it okay if I introduce myself? I didn't get a chance to.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Commissioner Nikolai, yes.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
My name's David Nikolai. I live in King City. I'm a middle school social studies teacher, and I'm really happy to be involved in the process and helping out the community. That's all. Thanks.
Great. Happy that you're here.
I'm very sorry, Commissioner Nikolai.
We need to print out like a picture of your face and put it on the chair by the speaker. So Keith, do you want to give just kind of like a summary?
Normally I'll be
sure.
out, but in person, but I'm on vacation right now. So yeah.
Okay, great. Okay.
As you can see by the size of the binders, this is a big land use case. It's the biggest land use application we've had. And I've been here for 30 years, so I know that, this is large. So the purpose for this meeting is to make sure that the planning commissioner, so the applicant is going to just present the application, what's in it, what the materials that are in here. And that's mostly, it's just to get the planning commission oriented with this whole development package, so they'll still have another month plus to look at it before we have our public hearing. So we have a public hearing that's tentatively scheduled for April 24th. Do we know time? Is that going to be 9:30, or do we know yet?
It'll likely be the same time as this one.
Six.
6
In the
o'clock.
evening? Okay, so most likely then. So the public notice will go out and
I'm sorry,
go out.
what is it, Ronnie?
Because it has to be.
The next meeting, you guys have to, decide and do it at this meeting, next meeting,
Well,
whatever.
yeah, what we're
Because
going
of
to do is we're going to send a notice out that will announce when, where, and the time. The other hearings that we have. But I'm telling you in advance, we're planning on the 24th. I guess we just don't know if it's going to be in the morning or in the evening yet, but that'll be sent out at least 20 days in advance, so soon it'll be sent out. And then at that time, we will have regular testimony from the applicant plus testimony from the public as well at that hearing. So this one is really just to get them acquainted with what's in the package. So I think that's really about it. So you guys have a run through.
We do.
Okay.
We have a presentation. First of all, my name is Maureen Jackson, and I'm an associate project manager with PCD. And survey. But Pam.
I'm Pam Verdadero. I'm the applicant on behalf of the New Home Company. We're a developer and home builder here in Portland Metro and other areas. But been working with PCD on this project and several others in the area for a number of years now. So we're in good hands with this group for sure. All their hours have gone in and the work from this.
Well, we do have other members of the team here.
Patrick Espinosa, I'm the principal civil engineer. Chris Braver from Kittleson, associate for the transportation engineer for the applicant.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Chris, CHRIS.
I'm Galen, I'm with Metropolitan.
Okay, so thank you. We do, like I said, we do have a presentation, and Ronnie, if you want to bring it up, please, that would be great. I've also, because I know a lot of us like printed material, I've printed out some copies for you. Make notes.
Okay.
I know this needs more paper added to your binders, but I hope this helps.
Awesome over there. That one? Yeah.
Okay, so like Max said, we realize that this is a complex application that consists of many parts. And so we're very grateful to have this time with yourselves and with city staff just to review the materials and give you an overview of the application. The presentation that we are giving here tonight, it identifies the public improvements that will be developed with the town center. Just a review of the exhibits and technical reports that are provided to you, and identifies the applications required to support the proposal. Ronnie, if you want to go to the next slide. So to begin with, the town center will provide 3 park blocks as envisioned in the Kingston Terrace master plan. The park blocks are 6.5 acres in area and designed to include a dog park, playgrounds, pickleball court, basketball court, soccer field, fitness stations, and open lawn area. There's a 1-acre urban park located on the northern portion of the southern park block, just east of the site that's identified for the future municipal building. The urban park is designed with plaza space that can be used to host a farmer's market or other city events. It also is designed to include a splash pad. Additional concept plans and the detailed plans illustrating the amenities and the landscaping of the parks are provided in Exhibit C of the application. Next slide, Ronnie. The town center also includes over 26,000 square feet of urban space for spaces are located between buildings and at the intersection. The areas are designed with ornamental landscaping and formal and informal seating to create comfortable open spaces in the town center. The plazas offer the residents of the multifamily units open space right outside their door and provides the restaurants and retailers along Main Street the opportunity to offer outdoor seating. You can also see from the conceptual image, the bottom right specifically, that the plazas, there are a couple plazas that are large enough to provide street vendors. And again, Exhibit C includes the concept plans and the detailed landscape plans for these proposed plazas. So the design of the town center encourages multimodal transportation, safe and convenient access. The town center is provided with the linear greens, multi-use trails, and access ways located throughout the neighborhood. The frontages of Roy Rogers, Beef Bend, and Elsner are punctuated with access ways that offer direct bike and pedestrian access routes to and from the future Central and Beef Bend neighborhoods to the east, to River Terrace 2.0 to the north, and the future Lasich Park to the northwest. In addition to the park blocks, the town center development provides over 15 acres of natural open space area in the southern portion of the site. The natural open space is located just south of the proposed stormwater pond and includes the existing locally wetlands. The town center in this natural area is designed to integrate stormwater management with the existing natural resources by restoring and creating a high-functioning riparian wetland and water resource area on site that can provide high-value habitats and natural open space amenities for the community. This area will be easily accessible by bikes and by pedestrians through the mid-block access ways in the multi-use trail. And then seating and overlook will also offer residents and visitors opportunities to enjoy the nature and view the wildlife. The next slide, please. Of course, the primary purpose of the town center development is to provide housing. The town center development will ultimately provide 1,186 homes. A variety of attached and detached homes are proposed, which include multi-dwellings, the apartments, row homes, cottage-style, small detached homes, small alley-loaded homes, and standard and large detached homes. Milbrandt Architects have produced architectural details and renderings for each home and building styles, which are provided in Exhibit D. As the first development in Kingston Terrace, this proposal provides extensive infrastructure. Transportation infrastructure includes improvements to frontages and intersections along Roy Rogers, Beef Bend, and Elsner Roads. Roy Rogers improvements does include a two-way cycle track, and Beef Bend and Elsner have a multi-use path for the pedestrian and bicyclist. These preliminary designs have been vetted by Washington County Transportation, and the final construction documents for the improvements to Roy Rogers and Beef Bend will require approval by the county. Interior streets in the town center include a north-south extension of the River Terrace Boulevard, which is the main street, a new east-west collector, which we've identified as Kingston Terrace Boulevard, and two neighborhood routes, one which runs east-west and the other runs north-south adjacent to the park block. The design also includes two roundabouts. One roundabout is located along the eastern boundary of the project, and the second is located at the intersection of the River Terrace and Kingston Terrace Boulevard, which is just north of the municipal building site. There is also an enhanced race intersection proposed at the northern intersection of River Terrace Boulevard, entering into the town center from Beef Bend. So this intersection is designed to signalize to vehicles, bicyclists, and pedestrians that they're entering into a slow-moving urban environment.
Where is that located?
It is at River Terrace Boulevard and Palmetto.
This one here.
The movement of bicyclists and pedestrians through these intersections have been considered in the design and are reflected in the circulation plans provided in Exhibit C. And then the design of the proposed circulation system, of course, it's supported by the traffic impact analysis prepared by Kittleson, which is available in Exhibit E. So, Ronnie?
Are we going to have a presentation from Kittleson about the transportation plan at the hearing?
Good. If that,
I think maybe when we get done, if you folks want to pose any questions or requests, not that we're going to answer them or discuss them tonight, but just, I'd like to see this, or if you elaborate more, at the hearing on this thing, or if you have any questions about the content. But we won't get into a discussion because it's not a hearing right now. But
No, I just think it would be
Yeah,
useful
sure.
to have that kind of a presentation.
I think maybe towards the end, we can create kind of like a laundry list of
Mhm.
of agenda items potentially proposed for the hearing, and then we can.
that would be perfect, actually.
Mhm.
That's why we're here. So moving on. We also just wanted to give an overview of the utilities that we're providing. So the next few pages and the next two slides are an overview of the stormwater management, sanitary sewer, water, and recycled water plan proposed to serve the town center. The stormwater management plan does comply with CWS and the more restrictive water quality, the Slope 5 standards. And the sanitary sewer design does include extensions that will serve the eastern portion of Kingston Terrace and then extend northward to serve River Terrace 2.0. And Ronnie, the next slide. A water line main will be extended from Southwest 150th along Beef Bend to the town center. And I can say today that we have received a service provider letter from Tigard for the water that will be it's already been shared with Max and Keith, so I'm sure they'll pass that information along. That'll be included as a separate exhibit, Exhibit W, I believe. The development will also include a recycled water line that will serve the parks, the public parks and future municipal sites. So the last, thank you. So a number of applications have been submitted that enable the proposed town center. In addition to the development plan review, which is required for all new development area, this application includes a Kingston Terrace District Goal 5 Safe Harbor review, an upland wildlife and habitat conservation area review, a floodplain hazard review, a preliminary subdivision, and a minor land partition. And as I mentioned, this is a very complex application, a lot of parts to it. So to support all of these applications, we do have the number of technical reports and exhibits provided. The materials, your binders include a geotechnical report that was prepared by NV5, is Exhibit G. We do have an arborist report that was prepared by Todd Prager and Associates that is in Exhibit I. The wetland delineations, which are approved by DSL, are in Exhibit J, and a copy of the joint permit application that's currently under review by DSL and the Corps is Exhibit K. And there's a preliminary stormwater report in Exhibit L. We've also obtained, like I said, provider letters, EDFR, Pride Disposal, and the Tiger Tualatin School District. And those documents are provided as Exhibits M through P in the package. So that is the end of our presentation. And again, thank you for your time. And, you know, this is a lot. So, not just, but good for you.
I have a list of questions that I would like to have them be ready to answer at the hearing.
Okay.
Okay. I would like a more detailed presentation on the water plan. Is it going to be coming from the new Cache Creek Reservoir? Is that going to be the source? The reason I ask is I was aware of the shortage of water that would be available for the new development when I was on the Tiger Council. So I'd like to get an update on that. The county is in the midst of updating their wildlife plan. Could you address the compliance of your proposed plan with the county's new plan? I know that's going to be, it's very controversial. I sit on a county-wide committee that is all up in arms about that. So I think it would be useful for us to be prepared. I asked to get a presentation on the transportation issue since transportation is such a big deal, particularly with the amount of traffic that is on both Beef Bend and Roy Rogers, and that's only going to get worse as River Terrace 2 develops. And let's see. I have some small questions that you can ask. You can answer when we're there. So.
I heard you say something about how an intersection is going to be, going to give everyone the idea that this is a community, that it's a neighborhood, that you're not supposed to speed through there. And I just caught the tail end of what you were saying. That's why I asked where you were talking about. Can you just tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, an enhanced intersection in Exhibit C, we do have additional, like, I believe it's additional detailed page. It illustrates how it's a raised intersection in striped to identify.
Okay.
That the first intersection as River Terrace Boulevard will come into the site, and it enters the commercial space.
Okay, yeah. Got it.
Sorry, do you have any idea, could you check into what the timeline is for Tiger to build the boulevard on the other side of Beef Bend? Several years, okay, all right.
That one.
No, I'm just kind of trying to think ahead of all these things that are in process.
So, one thing that we, sent out already is we sent out a request for comments to the different agencies. Obviously, some of them have been contacted already, and they've provided service provider letters and that sort of thing. But we, did send notice out to City of Tiger from the planning standpoint and so on, because one of the things that's gonna be important is coordinating how these streets intersect on Beef Bend Road and so on. We've had a lot of conversation amongst the agencies, so we will have more information that we'll be getting from them, comments, and those will all be included with the staff report. So I think they'll probably comment on what the rough timing is, and we can also make a point to ask the planner over there what they think, what their best guess is for when they think they might start construction.
Does anyone else have anything that they would like to bring to the applicant's attention to address in the hearing?
One of the things I noticed is kind of an inconsistency when I was going through it. I noticed that along Beef Bend, cottages all the way. But I think in our sections, there was a section for Beef Bend and townhouses. So, I will need clarification there.
There are actually row homes up in the northwest
Okay.
quadrant. As you come down what will be considered River Terrace Boulevard,
Okay. All right.
row homes in there as well.
Okay.
Area.
Got it. Thank you.
And I forgot one question. When I started with your phasing, I'm going to be asking you about how you came up with your phasing plan, and are you amenable to adjusting?
One thing I'm wondering is how does Al's kind of fit into the, you talk to people at Al's at all about what they want to do?
We're coordinating with Al's
Are you?
future access, as soon as the, traffic signals go in.
Okay.
So we've been working with Al's. They're very aware of what we're
Okay.
working with and the timing of that.
Okay.
Has there been any discussion about the postal changes that will need to be done? Zip codes. We're a different city, totally different.
My understanding is the zip codes stay the same, but the post office changes once the, because it's annexed in.
So that area is going to continue to be served by the Sherwood Post Office?
Likely so.
Oh,
Figured.
I thought we
Sorry.
were Tiger.
We are, but the area out there, the
Oh.
homes that are out there are served by the
The
Sherwood.
Sherwood. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Sherwood zip code.
I think of those kind of things.
Those are good things to think of because those do affect when people close on their home and they have a city of with a a different zip code right after that annexation happened, so.
Yeah. And that's.
Coordinate with the postmaster.
Yes, it's gonna have to be done, and they are not easy to deal with.
Tackle it early on. We know that it's coming.
Particularly Portland. Anybody have any more questions? Anybody wish a little bit?
Well, there's a lot to look at, and, you know, certainly this meeting doesn't need to be long. But just, so a little more on the process that I realized I forgot. So, as I said, I think we're working on the staff report already. And the staff report will be ready, at least 7 days before the hearing.
So April 17th.
And then I assume, the public can get a link to see all the different plan sheets and everything, you know, the application?
Yeah, so
Okay.
there is a link already available for this binder on the city website in the agenda for this meeting. It is currently, since the agenda was posted a week ago, and this is an evolving document, it is slightly out of date, as there have been some minor adjustments made to it, and some additions to it as well. But once I send out my public notice, which I'm expecting to get in the mailboxes by early next week, I will provide a link online as well to an updated version of this packet that you can access. And you can also come down to City Hall and ask questions. I'm more than happy to do anything more than passports.
We're one of the few places that does more passports than much of the larger cities, so.
Pam, you're very experienced at this. Is there any way we can, right now, our kids go through 12th and high school, and as a mom who had two girls who went there and were involved, I had to do a lot of picking up. Most people have to buy a third car, and it's because they're going to Tualatin instead of Tigard. And do you have any power to negotiate?
Not a power, it's a numbers, they do quite a bit of, census, you know, boots on the ground, they talk to developers early. Household size, so they can estimate the number of students that will fall within a particular boundary, and then they'll assess, based on that, so, in capacity. So, unfortunately, I've never known a developer or the like to have any, you know, influence on school boundary. It's just not a thing.
The big problem,
I can vouch for that.
the big problem is that Tualatin hasn't grown. It is just about the same size as it was, the city. And so it doesn't have enough students to support the high school. And so they have to come up here. When Tigard High School was built, it was dead center in the middle of the district. That's why it's where it is. It was to serve the whole area. But when by the time they got ready to do a high school down, a second one, the only property that was left that was the right size was clear down at the other end of Tualatin.
Yeah.
Originally, the line was Beef Bend Road and south.
Right.
When it was first opened, and then they still had to adjust, and now it's Bull Mountain Road.
Right.
So everybody from Bull Mountain Road south.
Yeah.
Part of the location, you know, the distance of, you know, being, you know, what is it, over 4.5, 5 miles
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost 10 miles to Tualatin.
to the high school.
Yeah.
Despite that, it's people are moving to this area because it's the highest ranking high school in the area. So. Tualatin or just
Tualatin High School is very highly
I
rated.
want to say it's a 9. So, you know, with scores shifting during COVID and whatnot,
Yeah.
it's still maintained. It's actually grown, I think, from a 7 or 8 to a 9 it's pretty stable as well, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tigard has a much larger, minority population and a lot of, people with low English-speaking skills.
Well, it's not what we're trying to teach our kids. That's all I can say. You can't get public transportation to Tualatin High School. They have to drive, or you have to drive, and we're not trying to teach our kids that. And so I'm going to go.
Is there a school bus system?
Oh, if you miss the bus at 7:05, yeah.
Yeah, when I lived
Jimmy
up
and daughter walk with.
on Tigard, on Bull Mountain, the bus our stop was at 7 a.m.
My high schooler, when he was in high school, he
Yeah.
bus at that hour as well.
Yeah, and
I
it's,
could agree, yeah.
so,
But I guess there is no way for them to get to school. I made my daughter walk one time.
They missed the bus.
Yeah.
Well.
She was kind of late, like noon.
So it's understandable, as, being a concern, but unfortunately that's.
well, there was hope at one point that they were going to need a third high school, but numbers didn't grow enough to justify. The thing that will happen is eventually they'll have to have another middle school.
Okay.
So, is there anything else relevant to this workshop that should be discussed? Does anyone have any other questions? I just don't want to waste everyone's time.
Well, I just,
We can either wrap it up
no, the
or...
school district kinds of things are,
Right,
are
right.
just, it is what it is.
I do want to just offer I will be acting as liaison for the commissioners, so if questions do arise on your own later on before the hearing, feel free to reach out to me. You all have my email, and I can relay those messages to the applicant and your concerns as well. So use me as a tool as the representative of the city. Keith, you're not going to see him for a little while after this. He's heading out the door next week for a couple months, and so...
No, we won't
It
see you
will-
at the hearing.
Oh, this is it. This is your one shot at me right now.
Yeah. It's going to be
Gotta quick.
pretty hard to reach. But yeah, so I just did want to offer that, and I mean, if we really have nothing else to discuss,
I'll review the questions and requests, just to make sure we have those all, and then we could probably be adjourned, and if people want to sit and chat, that's great.
yeah. A couple agenda items that should be addressed at the next meeting, at the hearing, is we don't have a vice chair, and I won't.
I used to be.
Jan was the vice chair as far as I understood.
No, Jan was the chair,
Oh, okay.
vice chair.
I'm sorry. I think Ronnie's thing is wrong. Maybe that needs to be adjusted. Well, Anne Marie Paulson, I won't speak for her, but the communications is that she is going to resign. We do not have confirmation of that. I was not able to reach her for this planning commission workshop, and so I will try to get confirmation before the hearing, and one of the things that will need to be addressed is that we will need to appoint a chair. That'll probably be very early on in the agenda of the hearing. And then I will talk to
Moving
Ronnie.
out of the district.
Oh, okay. I thought she had moved up to the council.
No, Jan moved to city council. Anne Marie is, they're
Was
moving.
that chair?
The
Yeah.
planning commission is in a bit of flux, so we are trying to right the ship, and that will be something that we'll be working on in the next few months.
Is this next meeting on the 24th in AM or PM?
That we have to confirm.
That is something we have to determine whether or not it can be in the PM,
Okay.
because there might be some process that needs to be done to formally make it scheduled in the PM moving forward for the hearing, just because of the public notices and stuff.
On
In the morning?
Wednesdays at 6 PM.
Oh, okay. So,
Next week.
mhm.
So, yeah, the AM works better for me than
Right.
I, planned on.
Yeah, and I mean, it might be something so far as moving the day,
Okay.
which I don't know if that is even possible.
It is, so you guys just have to, as a counselor, as a commission, decide a time space. Motion.
Well, it might be useful for the people who are on the commission to think about their schedules and be prepared to discuss that at the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can reach out to everyone individually and see if there is get like a list of schedule times, and then maybe try to coordinate that on my own and, bring that up. And see if there is a better time that would work for everyone, because if you can't attend in the evenings on Wednesdays, and Commissioner Nikolai can't attend in the mornings on Wednesdays, that is an impasse, obviously. So that would be something that needs to be resolved.
Roll out, until I retired, I was never able to attend a meeting as a citizen during the day. For what that's worth.
And I agree.
And it's a problem here because we have a large population of seniors, a lot of whom can't drive at night. So, that's why traditionally meetings were in the daytime, because people would like to attend.
Gotcha.
Will all be things that will have to be discussed at a later date.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else?
I just was gonna go through the questions and requests that I heard and just make sure we got them all. One is to have a Kittleson presentation. Second, presentation of the water plan, and will there be adequate water available? The county is updating wildlife plan, and how does this, how will proposed, compare with the county's plan? We can also dig in to see how, if any of that is really relevant. So we've gone through and adopted the requirements that these folks have to live by, so, and those have been, submitted to the state and everything, so as far as I know, we're following what we have. But for an information item, we can see what they're doing at the county again. Just a timeline for Ferris 2.0, which is the target development on the, whoops, what happened here? On the north side of the street. Clarification of the housing types along Beach Road, but maybe just clarification of the different housing types and where they are.
Phasing.
And then the phasing plan and the rationale for it, and whether you'd be, is there any flexibility in adjusting the phasing plan? And then how does ALS fit in? Was there anything else?
There was a zip code question, which I'm not sure may have been totally addressed.
Yeah. I don't think you changed the zip code boundaries.
We aren't going to get into things like street trees and things like that at this point.
All the federal government, so forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiger, I'm closing the meeting at 6:42, Ronnie. Tigard wanted to get its own post office, and the Westminster and Portland adamantly refused to allow it to stop being a substation, and it would take an act of Congress to force the city of Portland to allow Tigard to have its own post office. It is still listed as a rural substation. And it now serves almost 200,000 people. See, I kind of got into the discussion when Margaret Doherty was trying to get it changed.
Yeah. That new thing that Tina Conant came up with, we are in a housing emergency, you can just build whatever